Hello, Fun fans, and welcome to the first ever Fun Fan Podcast live event broadcast. I'm your host, James Dillard, and not with me, unfortunately, is my co-host, but hopefully Bailey Jackson is watching somewhere nearby. His daughter's around here somewhere, but we are at the fourth annual tailgate version, the Friday night tailgate of Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White Reunion fundraiser. So we're going to raise some money and we're going to work on some things. So we just got here and we're going to broadcast for you and we're going to work on some things and we're going to get you able to donate and support the fundraiser and maybe join us tomorrow night. It's not too late to join us tomorrow night at the gala. So we're going to talk to some folks and broadcast live and let you know what's going on here in Clemson, South Carolina, while we try to raise some money. I'm looking out in the parking lot and I see some very famous people. Wayne Buckingham, of course. Michael Dean Perry just showed up. Oh, Bubba Britton's here. Of course, Bubba. Everybody knows Bubba. And so it's going to be Coach Cliff Ellis is here. And Horace Grant is over there getting pictures. You can see in the camera. That's Horace Grant having a picture made with folks. So hopefully we're going to get some of those folks on the mic here as well. So just stay tuned right here. Please share this Fun Fans broadcast on your Facebook so others can see. And we will continue to be with you shortly. Hello, Fun Fans. James and Bailey here to make sure you have the information you need for an event that you do not want to miss.
Yep, and we're going to include everything in a link, all the info you need, but the weekend of August 4th through August 6th, 2023, former basketball star at Clemson, Wayne Buckingham, is having a huge fundraiser.
Wayne has a scholarship for Clemson students, and he also helps former athletes who have run into tough medical situations. But the cool thing about this fundraiser is not just that it's in Clemson, but that there will be dozens of former Clemson Tiger Star athletes and coaches attending for you to meet and hang out with.
Yeah, so for as little as $50, you can support a good cause, and you can rub your elbows with the likes of Levon Kirkland, Dale Davis, and Perry Tuttle.
That's right. All the information is on the website, so check it out. Get a ticket to the gala, enter a team in the golf tournament, become a sponsor, and hang out with the big cats.
And please feel free to reach out to either one of us with questions or if you need more information. And like we always say, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right, so we are back live again, and we are going to get the information on the screen so you can support or join. There we go. So there's the link. A lot of typing. If you go to our Facebook page, the link is all over the place. You can search WAB Sports or Orange and White Fundraiser. There's an Orange and White Facebook page, so it's not that hard to find. You can support the fundraiser that Wayne Buckingham is doing, and what it is he raises money for school supplies for children in the Clemson area, for Clemson scholarships for some future Clemson students, and he also helps out some former athletes that have maybe run across some hard times or something. But we are here, and we're having a good time, and we are probably not going to stay here, and we're just going to let you enjoy the view just like as if you're here, hopefully. And we're going to come on periodically and hopefully get some talking to, and hopefully we can get somebody to interview over here really, really soon. But stay tuned. Share this broadcast. This is the Orange and White fundraiser, Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White Reunion fundraiser. All right. So one thing we can talk about while we're here today is tomorrow. If you're anywhere near the Clemson area, if you didn't know anything about what was going on, there's going to be an autograph signing at Walk-Ons tomorrow, Saturday, 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. for a donation to the fundraiser. You can get an autograph from these legends: Levon Kirkland, Homer Jordan. You can see them, Michael Dean Perry, right there on the screen. So that'll be tomorrow at 1 p.m. Share this page, share this event, so folks will know how to donate and support this great event here with the Fun Fans Podcast, brought to you in part by the Fanboys Fangirls Podcast Network and Rubens Food, Sports, and Spirits. Playing around a little bit here. So this is me, and I was just testing to see if I could, because we're gonna set us up an interview. I needed to know that I can switch my camera. So we're getting a little bit of, we're having some little tech fun here. Got me a new banner. Check out the new banner. So we got it going on. Let me get you back to the action. People walk up and see Michael Dean Perry and just start screaming. Reminds me of me running into my friends in high school. Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe we'll get Michael Dean over here in a second.
Okay.
All right, so we're back here when we have one of the Clemson cheerleaders with us, Ava. She didn't tell me her last name, but Ava's good enough for everybody.
I'm like, they get it, Ava. You can figure it out.
Very good. So tell the listeners about this. What do you know about this event?
I know it's the orange and white weekend. It's all the alumni coming together. There's some basketball, but maybe some football coming around. The coaches, just a lot of alumni throughout. Like so that you've got a big range of people too here. So
definitely a wide range of people here. So, Ava, what year are you at Clemson?
I'm going to be a junior this year.
Going to be a junior. Have you been on the cheer squad your entire career?
Yes. So I'm going into my third season here at Clemson.
Okay. So, are you familiar with the Fun Fans podcast? I mean, we have kind of a tight bond with the cheerleading squad.
I say I have a friend that has told me a few things about the podcast, so I'm familiar.
Okay. So what are you majoring in?
Biology.
Biology. Are you looking forward to this football season?
I am really excited, especially after how last year ended. I think we're ready to have a good year.
Oh, yeah, we're ready. So tell fans what a typical game day is like for you as a cheerleader.
For me, usually I'm getting up 6 hours before the game starts, and then I gotta give myself my breakfast every day, get ready for at least 2 hours. I'm getting to the game 3 hours before it starts, and that's when our fun times start with parades and more parades and all the activities and meeting people. It's fun though. We get to go around the tailgates. It's a good time, and the next thing you know, it's kickoff, and we're cheering the whole game. Yeah.
So have you ever run down the hill like before the game with the team?
I can't say I've ran down it with the football team, but we've definitely ran down it before, like in practice or something like that, right? Yeah, we've done it before. I'm like, let's start a petition. Do you think the cheer team should run down the hill? Oh,
Whoever's pulling
the cannon.
Well, not the cannon. The huge banner thing where you
Oh, the flag. Yeah.
Okay, so the huge flag. Could you imagine running down the hill with that thing?
No, we can barely do it on the field sometimes. It does.
I think we should try. I think
I'm like, we'll start a petition for it.
We should try. So, are you from the Clemson area?
I'm not. I'm from Mooresville, North Carolina.
So what attracted you to Clemson University?
You know, I moved down here from the north about 6 years ago from Pittsburgh, and I moved down here and I started hearing the hype around it, and I was like, okay. I visited. I was like, this is pretty cool, and then I got introduced to the cheer program, and then I just fell in love with everything and anything Clemson, really.
Very good. Yeah, it's hard not to fall in love with this area. Definitely God's country. So,
yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with the listeners out there?
Share with the listeners. I don't think so. I'm trying to think about it. No, just be there this year, be loud, be proud. It's going to be a great year. I'm super excited for it.
And donate to the fundraiser. There's a link at the bottom of the screen. And we appreciate you being on.
Yeah, of course.
Very much.
Go
maybe
Tigers.
We can get there are a couple other cheerleaders here. We maybe can do something for the camera. Maybe we'll
we could do a stunt.
We'll get them psyched up for that. Let's see what we can do. Hang on. Stand by. All right, yeah, whenever y'all ready. Here we go. Look at there. There's Clover's fine. Oh, she went clear out of the screen. Clear out of the screen. Oh, Bailey just got next. Thank you. All right, so we are live on scene at Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White Reunion fundraiser. This is the Friday night tailgate. Tomorrow night is the gala. Tomorrow afternoon, there will be an autograph signing at Walk-Ons in Clemson for a donation to this good cause. You can get an autograph for some of these big-time Clemson players, Horace Grant, Eldon Campbell, Dale Davis. A lot of these guys are in the parking lot right now. Michael Dean Perry is about 10 feet to my left. So that's tomorrow afternoon at Walk-Ons. And tomorrow night, it is not too late to get tickets to the gala. So you can come on out for $50, enjoy the evening at Lakeside Lodge here in Clemson, and help raise money for school supplies for kids in the Clemson area, scholarships for future Clemson students, and some of our Clemson former athletes who have had some health issues, etc. So Buck raises the money for various things. So we are live in Clemson, South Carolina at the Orange and White tailgate, the kickoff of the Orange and White reunion weekend. Fun Fans Podcast. Check the link at the bottom. Please share this broadcast so you can help spread the word. Like and follow our Facebook page. Brought to you in part by the Fanboys and Rubens Food, Sports, and Spirits. One location in Powdersville, one location in Greer. Hello, Fun Fans. James and Bailey here to make sure you have the information you need for an event that you do not want to miss.
Yep, and we're going to include everything in a link, all the info you need, but the weekend of August 4th through August 6th, 2023, former basketball star at Clemson, Wayne Buckingham, is having a huge fundraiser.
Wayne has a scholarship for Clemson students, and he also helps former athletes who have run into tough medical situations. But the cool thing about this fundraiser is not just that it's in Clemson, but that there will be dozens of former Clemson Tiger Star athletes and coaches attending for you to meet and hang out with.
Yeah, so for as little as $50, you can support a good cause, and you can rub your elbows with the likes of Levon Kirkland, Dale Davis, and Perry Tuttle.
That's right. All the information is on the website, so check it out. Get a ticket to the gala, enter a team in the golf tournament, become a sponsor, and hang out with the big cats.
And please feel free to reach out to either one of us with questions or if you need more information. And like we always say, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right. So, yeah, we've been promoting this event for months. We had Wayne Buckingham on our podcast about back in March or so. If you go back and find our YouTube channel or on the fanboys.com, our website, you can find our podcast. We interviewed Wayne Buckingham. So we've been promoting this event for a while. And here we are Friday evening, the kickoff of the Orange and White Reunion fundraiser. If you can't make it this weekend, check out the link, find the links, do some donating for the cause, school supplies for kids, medical needs for some former Clemson athletes, and some scholarship money for some future Clemson students. So we are here live in Clemson, South Carolina. We're going to be at the autograph signing tomorrow at Walk-Ons, 1 p.m. to 2:30. Have the opportunity to get autograph Homer Jordan, Levon Kirkland, some Clemson legends. Show up for free. Donation to the event, to the fundraiser for an autograph. Children can get an autograph for free. And then tomorrow night, we're also going to be at the gala. So we've had a lot of talk about a gala and what to wear and that kind of thing. So this is an outdoor gala, so it's going to be a little more summer outdoor. Bailey talked this morning about maybe wearing a blazer, but I'm not sure he's going to go there. It is South Carolina in August, and we are going to be outside, and it's going to be nice. It's going to be a great event. But if you can get here, $50 a ticket. Don't want to miss it. Otherwise, you can tune in here on our Facebook page, Twitter, and we will give you all the action. All right, but now we're still checking it out. So if you've been wondering, we've had some grub, had a little food here. It is a tailgate, so we got a grill going over there. And trying to give some folks the opportunity to eat their dinner before we interrupt them for an interview. But hopefully we're going to be coming at you with an interview really, really soon. So stand by. All right, and we are unmuted, and we are back here with Craig Mobley, graduate of same high school as me, Chester High School, 1969. And my understanding is the first African-American athlete at Clemson University.
Yeah, that happened, and it was in basketball.
Yeah.
Take this hat off so you can see what happens in time, But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time at Chester High School. Got there when they started what they call freedom of choice in 1965.
Mm-hmm.
So spent 4 years there. Got to play basketball there and football and baseball. But I came to Clemson on a basketball scholarship.
Basketball, son. Very cool. So how did you end up at Clemson?
Well, everybody thought I was going to West Point, but Clemson offered me a full scholarship. I knew I wanted to be in the ACC, and I also wanted to go in science. So Clemson was the place for me. And for me, the answer was it was good to stay in state. Didn't know how good it would be until you became a Clemson graduate.
Right. Amen. So when you were a student at Clemson, what was it like being a student athlete here in the, I guess that would have been the early, very end of 69, early 70s, into the Vietnam War, that kind of stuff? That was.
I'm going to see which one I'm going to take first.
Yeah.
There was a draft going on back then, and I came into Clemson with the number 9 draft card, but they call it 2F deferment because you were a student. I was in chemical engineering, but playing basketball and being in that field was a little more difficult today because of the tutor side of life. But it was fun. Had a good freshman year. Sophomore year, they changed coaches. That kind of changed my ability to play, but I still was able to be part of the team. And then what happened after Clemson, I was ROTC grad. And then I got out of Clemson and went on after 2 years to be an Air Force officer. And ever since then, just grow older.
I know that feeling. And my understanding is you're on the West Coast now.
I'm in Los Angeles now.
Nice. Southern California.
Yeah, it's a drought season down there.
Yeah. Does it get this humid in Southern California?
Not at all.
Yeah. Not the times I've been there. We enjoy the weather when we travel out there. That's for sure. So what about your family's from Chester? You're originally from? Okay.
And I just finished a genealogy trail.
Uh-oh.
My family goes back to 1830s that I know of in Chester, Richburg area. So I imagine I'm getting close to 200 years. You know what I'm saying? My blood is from Chester, South Carolina.
Yeah. Well, my wife's a Stevenson.
Okay.
And her family runs deep in that Chester, York, McConnell's area, and also I pulled her out and we ended up in Spartanburg. But I think I'm gonna say that was the Lord's plan.
Yep.
So hopefully that worked out. But we met there, so that was the blessing for sure. What about how often do you get back? Obviously you're here now, but do you get back to Clemson very often?
I usually can get here once a year.
Okay.
And as it says, it's not a cheap trip.
No.
The most expensive part of my trip is renting a car. But other than that, it's once a year, and definitely try to time it. So I'm visiting family who live in Georgia now, and come to some event here at Clemson.
Do you pick an event or a different one every time? Or?
Well, different crowd. I miss out on much of the sports I like.
Mm-hmm.
I did come back for our basketball reunion because we celebrated, believe it or not, 50 years of being a graduate here. So we had a 50-year reunion. But events like this, Buckingham has kind of got my attention last year because of what he's doing. And I think it's something that's going to continue to grow.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a good time. And that's what the link's for. Folks can still donate if they aren't able to make it. But so you're here for this event now. And the little bit I've talked to Buck, gotten to know him a little bit, he does like bringing up Clemson's best basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
So have you had that conversation with Buck, and which team do you think is the best?
All right, so we know they're in the late 80s, and we were the late 60s. And somebody gonna say y'all played a different style, but the other part of the stance is we had some 7-footers too.
Yeah.
And our little freshman team, we were scoring 80 points a game before they put a 3-pointer.
Right. Yeah.
So the answer is, yeah, we would have loved to see what would have been like mano or mano.
Yeah. I just love hearing you guys talk about it. Yeah, I practiced with the high school team in Chester. That's about the best I could do with basketball. I wasn't much of a basketball guy, but yeah, I helped the team out a little bit. Hopefully, from a practice and statistical.
But you know that as a coach, you know, the best thing about sports is it brings people together, give them a common place to do stuff, and you have something to talk about and complain about, and at the end of the day, you say, well, you know, let the players show you the answer.
Right.
But I appreciate you working as a coach, and I think it's one of the greatest other blessings there are, because kids like somebody to care for them.
Well, hopefully they've got something out. As much as I have, you know, we learn as much from the kids as more from the kids they do from us. Yeah. My co-host is an athletic director.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, we do this show. We have a good time, and hopefully we have people say that very often. We do appreciate that for sure. Yeah. And we appreciate your service and what you've done in your years.
Well, I'm just surprised to run into more Chester people. Remember, Chester is pretty heavy Clemson.
Hey, I told my wife, you can't get away from Chester. The first person I saw when I drove in here was Bubba.
Oh,
and of course, everybody knows Bubba.
Yep.
So, and it seems like everywhere we go, we run into somebody either from Chester or have relatives in Chester. And there's great people from that town. And that's one reason why. You always talk to them, because they're always willing to talk about where they're from. Getting them type of people that go to. So that's always great.
I'm glad you're here.
I appreciate it.
Like I said, this weekend, for those who don't know, what got added is the fact we're going to be working with students tomorrow. And that'll be good, because that way we get more of the community involved. So if you get a chance, if you couldn't make it this year, there will be a 2024.
That's right.
And I'm glad to be here, and I appreciate you giving me a moment with you, too.
No problem. We appreciate you being on with us. Maybe you make 2 trips a year.
Yeah.
We get this thing going here.
Come on, friend. All right, take care.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one. Bye now.
Saying I figured I'd never run into a cyclone like that. I figured I'd run into Bubba. But like I say, you never know who you're going to run into when you're from Chester. But so we're going to work on some more interviews. That was pretty cool. So stay tuned here at the Orange and White Fundraiser Reunion Weekend. Hello, fun fans. James and Bailey here to make sure you have the information you need for an event that you do not want to miss.
Yep, and we're going to include everything in a link, all the info you need, but the weekend of August 4th through August 6th, 2023, former basketball star at Clemson, Wayne Buckingham, is having a huge fundraiser.
Wayne has a scholarship for Clemson students, and he also helps former athletes who have run into tough medical situations. But the cool thing about this fundraiser is not just that it's in Clemson, but that there will be dozens of former Clemson Tiger Star athletes and coaches attending for you to meet and hang out with.
Yeah, so for as little as $50, you can support a good cause, and you can rub your elbows with the likes of Levon Kirkland, Dale Davis, and Perry Tuttle.
That's right. All the information is on the website, so check it out. Get a ticket to the gala, enter a team in the golf tournament, become a sponsor, and hang out with the big cats.
And please feel free to reach out to either one of us with questions or if you need more information. And like we always say, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. I just got that face. All right, we need to interview somebody. All right.
You gonna talk about the program and what we do?
Hey, Coach James,
James, good to see you,
nice
buddy.
to meet you, sir. We're gonna,
Uh-oh.
perfect timing, right? We'll let them. All right, Coach, give me 1 second. We're gonna since we're outside. Oh, here they're gonna do the cheer again. That'll be good. What Wayne's doing and everything. All right, here we go. Another great guest on here, fans. The one and only Coach Cliff Ellis was the coach of the Tigers. So what years were actually coaching the Tigers?
84 to 94.
Okay, so a good day, or 11 seasons, I guess.
Well, 10.
10 seasons.
Yep.
So those were some pretty good years.
Oh, absolutely. We got a lot of them here. You got the days of Horace Grant, then Eldon Campbell, Dale Davis, Sharon Wright, Chris Whitney. Great times.
Yeah. So,
Excuse me.
Coach, I'm gonna ask the easiest question, the big secret. How'd you get all those great players to come to Clemson?
Well, you know, I think it started with the fact that Horace and Grayson Marshall set the tone, and Benny Hamilton. Those guys were here during those early days, and we won some good games. And then when we got to the NCAA in 1987, we actually finished second in the ACC. That had never happened at Clemson. And an amazing thing about that, we played Wake Forest the last regular season game at home, and it clinched the number 2 spot in the ACC. And the fans went and cut the net down. And I said, what in the world is going on? I said, we've never finished second. And that opened the door for Campbell and Davis, all those guys to come in. And Sharon Wright, I guess we probably had as good a big man run as anybody in the country.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's guys that did a tremendous job in the NBA, and, you know, very proud of them. And proud of the teams that we had during that time at Clemson.
Right. And it makes a difference when you do something for the first time. It's an accomplishment when you get those goals in step by step down the program too. As well.
Absolutely.
Folks, a lot of the fans nowadays, we talk about this. Fans nowadays, especially the football fans, we're a little used to winning a lot.
Well, what Dabo's done is amazing. I thought, Danny Ford and I are very close friends, and I didn't think anybody would ever win a championship, national championship, after the '81 season at Clemson. And what Dabo's done is just absolutely amazing. And that athletics is your front porch, and I think the group that we had in basketball really gave momentum to Clemson for the first time. We won the ACC for the first and only time in '90. But when you get the Grants and you get the Campbell Davis and Sharon Wright, and Wayne Buckingham was one of the top recruits we had, but he blew his knee out, and that curtailed his. If he hadn't blown his knee out, there's no telling the sky's the limit for him.
Right. So we asked athletes how they ended up at Clemson. How did you end up at Clemson as a coach?
Well, a guy by the name of Dwight Rainey called me up. I was at the University of South Alabama as basketball coach, and athletic director. And he called me up. He was at a baseball game with the Clemson baseball team. He said, well, how would you like to come to Clemson? And I said, I'm not interested. Really and truly. I had signed a guy by the name of Vernon Maxwell, who ended up having a heck of a pro career. And he had committed to me. I hadn't signed him. He had committed to me. And I flew to Gainesville, Florida from Mobile, Alabama to sign him. And when I got to his house, his mother was sitting with him, and he said, I'm changing my mind. I've always wanted to go to the University of Florida. My heart dropped, and that happened so many times. So I went immediately to the airport in Gainesville, and I called Dwight Rainey back, and I said, if you're still interested, I'll come. He said, we'll have a plane pick you up the next day in Atlanta. So I went from there to come to Clemson, met with Bill McClellan, and was offered the job that weekend. And I went to sign Vernon Maxwell, and I came back, and I went to Mobile, Alabama, accepting the Clemson job. So it's strange happening, but it's the best thing that ever happened to me.
It's funny how events like that can change the direction of what's going on. But so whatever the plan is in place, that's cool. So what are you up to now? Tell the fans what Coach Ellis is enjoying retirement, kicking back.
Man, I'm coaching. Yeah.
It never stops, right?
No, I'm in Coastal Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's
you're supposed to know that.
I'm sorry. So
that tells you a lot.
The fans will know that Bailey's the guy. He's the information guy. Okay. My co-host, who's unable to be here, he's a former basketball coach as well. So
we actually beat Clemson.
I believe
twice. You're supposed to know that.
He's just rubbing it in now.
I'm rubbing it in.
And that's what I mean. I'm just here for the fun part.
Okay.
And that's always good. So, what have you been coming to this event every year support?
Well, I mean, you got to support your own people,
right?
You know, you ask your players to be loyal to you, and with Wayne and all these guys, you're gonna be loyal to them. So
how's it going at Coastal down there?
Wonderful. You know, the program's really grown, and we've had some very good years. And you know, baseball won a national championship in 2016. Football has gone to Division I, had a good season. So things are good.
Yeah, I know when they play football against App State, because I have some former players that went to Coastal and they plastered all over their social media. So
yeah, App State's a big rival. Yeah, it's a big rival.
Sure. So let me ask a quick question. You made me think of something. As a former coach myself, because at the college level, at the high school level, the success of one program, basketball, whatever, can build on the success of the other sports programs.
Absolutely.
Even with different athletes. Does that happen at the high school level?
At the high school level?
I'm sorry, at the college level.
Absolutely. We built our program. You know, we leaned heavily on Danny Ford.
Right.
Heavily on Danny Ford. Because they had it going. And, you know, basketball, you know, when we came here and you'd have a football game, you had the highway patrolman directing people, moving them here and out. And at a basketball game, you know, as you came in, there might be a 1956 Chevy, but a guy with a raincoat said, where do you want to go? Well, so we went right to football and said, hey, we need your help. We piggybacked. And Danny Ford, and you see these football guys, Michael Dean Perry, those guys were very supportive and helped us get where we needed to get. You definitely piggyback. You know, it's a family type thing, and we piggybacked on football without question.
Yeah, that family atmosphere comes up a lot when we talk to people about Clemson.
Well, you see it here. I mean, look at this parking lot. It's amazing.
That's what happened. Not an athlete. My family started bringing me, like, you know, there's thousands of people like me. It's a story of grandfather brought me when I was a kid. My uncle was going to school here.
Absolutely.
Definitely a family.
That's the way it goes. It builds on each other.
Coach, I appreciate you being
Absolutely. Good to be with
talking to everybody. So you see, you can help support Buckingham just like Coach Ellis does here, and because it's a great cause. Thanks again, Coach.
Absolutely.
All right, so we are live. Fun Fans Podcast, brought to you in part by the Fanboys, Fangirls Podcast Network, Rubens, Food, Sports, and Spirits, Diamond Etched Products, and we are here at Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White Reunion Fundraiser tailgate, the Friday night tailgate. But tomorrow we will be at the autograph signing. So if you are not here, you can be in Clemson tomorrow. Help make a donation to this great cause. Buck is raising money for school supplies for kids, for scholarships for Clemson students, and for medical needs of former Clemson athletes. And tomorrow, 1 p.m. to 2:30, we're talking about Horace Grant, Dale Davis, Eldon Campbell. Some of these big-time Clemson folks are going to be signing autographs for a small donation. Kids can get their autograph for free. We're at the tailgate now, but tomorrow night, the gala, and there's a golf tournament on Sunday. Go to the link at the bottom or find the Orange and White Facebook page. It's not real hard to find, and you can help and donate to this cause. We're going to be on for a few more minutes. We just interviewed Coach Cliff Ellis. We interviewed Craig Mobley from Chester, South Carolina, and Clemson basketball player. And we hope to get at least one more interview in here before I run out of memory and battery on the Fun Fans Podcast. So make sure you like our page, share this broadcast so people can see and support this event, support this fundraiser. So we're going to come back in just a second and help find us another interview. Hello, Fun Fans. James and Bailey here to make sure you have the information you need for an event that you do not want to miss.
Yep, and we're going to include everything in a link, all the info you need. But the weekend of August 4th through August 6th, 2023, former basketball star at Clemson, Wayne Buckingham, is having a huge fundraiser.
Wayne has a scholarship for Clemson students, and he also helps former athletes who have run into tough medical situations. But the cool thing about this fundraiser is not just that it's in Clemson, but that there will be dozens of former Clemson Tiger Star athletes and coaches attending for you to meet and hang out with.
Yeah, so for as little as $50, you can support a good cause, and you can rub your elbows with the likes of Levon Kirkland, Dale Davis, and Perry Tuttle.
That's right. All the information is on the website, so check it out. Get a ticket to the gala, enter a team in the golf tournament, become a sponsor, and hang out with the big cats.
And please feel free to reach out to either one of us with questions or if you need more information. And like we always say, go Tigers.
Go Tigers. All right, so once again, we are live here at the Orange and White Weekend Reunion Fundraiser, Wayne Buckingham's fundraiser for school supplies for children, scholarships for Clemson athletes, medical assistance for former Clemson athletes in need. You can donate at the link. Find Orange and White Weekend on Facebook. Google WAB Sports. You will find the link. There's a golf tournament on Sunday. There is an autograph signing tomorrow, 1 to 2:30 at Walk-Ons. So if you're in the Clemson area, you can show up for that. And there's a gala tomorrow night. But you can get it all here at the Fun Fans Podcast. You can share this great information by liking and sharing our Facebook page, Twitter account, YouTube, and find the links to donate to this wonderful cause. I'm hoping to get one more interview before it gets dark here live in Clemson, South Carolina. The Orange and White Fun. We've already had an interview with Coach Cliff Ellis. We had former basketball player Craig Mobley, also from Chester, South Carolina. We're going to see who else we can get on here. All right, fans, you ain't gonna believe who we're about to have on here. We've been talking a lot, so we got to get it. Let me get my camera turned around, and we're gonna get it going on with former Clemson superstar, former. Well, you're never a former NBA champion, are you? You're always the NBA champion.
Absolutely.
Horace Grant here on live here at the Orange and White Week. How you doing, Horace?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. We appreciate you being here. So, tell us a little bit about Buck's event and why you're part of support and why other folks should support this event.
Well, Buck asked me a couple years ago to come out and help him, with this great event. But my schedule wouldn't let me. But this year he called me. He was like, would your schedule allow you? And I said, absolutely. So I'm out here for a great cause to give back to this community. Everyone should come out and support.
Right. And I listen, I told Horace before we started I'm amateur, and there his face is right in the arm of the camera. So we're going to have to fix that.
There we
We're
go.
going to do something different.
All right.
So come on out. You can donate on the links on the screen. So tell the listeners a little bit about it. Everybody knows, what it was like being on the court, being a player at Clemson. How did you end up at Clemson?
Well, I was going to Anderson Junior College at the time. I think it's Anderson University now. And Coach Bill Foster came behind closed doors and said, Harvey and Horace, would you guys like to come to Clemson? We were like, absolutely. And ended up here.
The rest is history.
Absolutely. I mean, great coach, great atmosphere, great fans, and such a great community here at Clemson.
Family atmosphere. So when you were here as a player of basketball, see, this is a Fun Fans podcast. We asked the athletes, were they fans, and how was it like attending the other sports? Did you go to football games, that type of thing?
Listen, as a basketball player here from 83 to 87, you did not miss football games. First of all, you didn't miss the tailgating. And then in the football game, we always had great football teams back in here. When Danny Ford was coaching, of course, now one of the greatest teams that ever played the game in Clemson football. So you didn't miss football games. Yes. Yeah.
That's if there's a correct answer. Exactly. We know exactly. That's the part we get to participate in. We appreciate you guys out there putting on the show. Normally basketball for yourself. What about
if you want to sign, it's only $5.
People notice they had to kind of stand out a little bit. So when you was at a football game, you had to have saying, were you able to actually watch the game?
Well, my first couple of years, basketball was kind of getting on the mat, catching on. But my junior, senior year, oh, yeah, it was autographs here, autographs there. But, it was just such a great family atmosphere at the game. So the fans didn't bother you that much. Yeah.
So you left Clemson, and Coach Ellison called me out. I'm not a trivia guy. I have a good time at the tailgate. I love my Tigers. Yeah. So you were actually drafted by the Bulls. So you went to the Bulls, and that was it.
Yes, in 1987, being the ACC Player of the Year, and Coach Ellis got Coach of the Year that year, ACC Coach of the Year, and I got drafted by the Bulls in the first round, overall the number 10th pick,
right?
And went there. Clemson, Coach Ellis prepared me in terms of the work ethic that I would have to do to contribute to the Bulls, Chicago Bulls basketball team.
Yeah. So he just didn't leave you high and dry. That's for sure when you left college.
No, absolutely not, man. Coach Ellis was one of the greatest coaches that ever coached the game. He got almost every guy prepared who made the NBA.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So is there anyone there as a Clemson athlete that stood out? Or was there a game that was just like you never? I know you never forget a lot of moments, but was there a particular moment that you always tell people about?
Well, I remember as a freshman coming in, and North Carolina State had just won the national championship, and we were playing them.
Excuse me, everybody. I want y'all to know Horace Grant is my hero.
Hey, no, Michael Dean is my hero. Hey, but in 19, they had just won the NCAA championship, North Carolina State. Long story short, I played in that game. They fouled me. I made 2 free throws to put it on ice. Yes. Yeah.
That's the moment we all practice in the driveway as kids, right? The game's on the line. That's awesome. I'm gonna ask one more question. So, just a little bit, I've talked to Buck. He always brings up the best Clemson team, the best Clemson basketball team. I know you got a vote in that.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though that we didn't go farther than Buck and his team in the NCAA, but we would have kicked their butts. My 1987 team would have kicked their butts.
You heard it here, fun fans, right here. That was the best Clemson team ever. Horace, I appreciate you being here. Folks need to support this event like Horace is supporting it, and stay with us. We'll be here all weekend. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, folks, I had to turn the camera away from me because that may have been one of the coolest moments of my life, interviewing Horace Grant, and the only thing that made it better was that Michael Dean Perry jumped in to interrupt us. So that, as a lifelong Clemson fan, especially my age, growing up watching those guys play, that might have been the coolest thing. One of the coolest things to ever happen to me. So we are here live at Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White Reunion Fundraiser. This is the 4th annual, raising money for school supplies for kids, for scholarships for student athletes or students at Clemson, and some assistance, medical assistance for some former athletes that are in need. And we have been live here for over an hour, and it's starting to get dark. We've interviewed Horace Grant, Cliff Ellis. I've lost count of who all we interviewed, but we are going to be here all weekend bringing you these events. Tomorrow, if you're in the Clemson area, you can get an autograph from Horace, Michael Dean, Levon Kirkland, Dale Davis at walk-ons from 1 to 2:30. And then tomorrow night is the gala. If you cannot attend these events, you can join here live on the Fun Fans Podcast Facebook, Fun Fan Podcast Twitter, and you can it's as if you're here. So once again, James Dillard, your host of the Fun Fans Podcast. We are about to wrap it up here as far as our broadcast goes. Looks like Buck's getting on the mic. Gonna start having a cornhole tournament or something. So we appreciate any support. This link will be on the page. You can support this fundraiser. Message us, email us, make a comment, and we can help you learn how to get involved and support Wayne Buckingham's fundraiser. So, but for now, I'll tell you what, I might leave it on for just a minute. You can almost see the cornhole through the trees there, but it's kind of hard to see. But we'll leave it on for just another second. And y'all hear Buck talking. You can't see him. He's sitting down he got a gold microphone over there and a fan blowing on him. That's my man. And see, y'all hear what Horace said about the tailgating? If you were here in the mid-'80s, you weren't gonna miss the tailgating. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my daughter over here. So that's where it's at. That's my man right there, Horace Grant. So
I'm gonna turn some music on right now.
All right, they're about to turn some music on. So we appreciate you joining us. Share this information. We'll be back tomorrow. Now Buck singing. All right. Everyone needs to like and follow the Fun Fans Podcast page, the Fun Fan Podcast Twitter account, Instagram, YouTube. Find us on social media. Find us on Spotify. We're going to be bringing you this event all weekend with big-time Clemson players. But on behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, Jay Thriller Entertainment, the Fanboys, Fangirls Podcast Network, thank you for tuning in.